So it's great to be with you guys tonight. Fantastic performance. I want to say thanks to the staff with the rep for inviting me here to speak. I have 5 minutes to speak, and I'm going to use that time to tell a story about sheep, sheepdogs, and wolves. And 5 minutes is interesting because and my perspective is going to be different, and I understand there's going to be a lot of people that won't agree with this, but there's going to be conversations afterwards, and that's an opportunity. And I hope that what I share is going to be part of that conversation. So 5 minutes is the average police response time to a violent shooting. So the situation they talk about in this play, school shooting, Sandy Hook, 5 minutes when the first police officer arrived. So what happened here, I mean, we've seen this in Milwaukee. We've seen at the Sikh temple. We've seen at the Azana Salon. So I have 5 minutes to speak, and now I have a prop in my pocket, and it's plastic, and it's fake, but I'm going to pull it out. So this is a gun that's very similar to the one that was used in the Sikh temple shooting and at the Azana Salon. Now this is fake, it's plastic. So I carried it in here. Guns aren't allowed in here, but this is fake, so this is allowed. But nobody knew I had it. And sheep are people who are defenseless. And that's not a pejorative term, it's just people that are defenseless. Sheepdogs are people that protect other people. And wolves represent evil. And that could be, evil comes in all kinds of forms. Evil comes in the forms of, we look at the things that happened here in Wisconsin. We look at mass shootings. We look at violence. And there is no one common denominator. Some violence is a result of, as the Azana Salon, domestic violence. Some violence is a result of intolerance and racism, like in the Sikh temple. And some violence is a result of mental illness. So there is no one common denominator in any one of the mass shootings that we've seen. And in any violence, there's no common denominator, but there's one common denominator in every mass shooting, and that's that the violence didn't stop till some good guy with a gun showed up. So a gun in the hands of an evil person obviously creates violence, but a gun in the hands of a good guy, that's when violence stops. The Sikh temple president, he went after the shooter with a butter knife, and there's stab wounds on the shooter. So the Sikh temple president tried to act like a sheepdog, but he didn't have the tools, he didn't have the mechanism to protect people. I think of what would have happened if he would have had a gun. What if he would have been carrying a gun for self-defense? He would have been able, how many lives would have been saved? What if a woman at the Azana Salon would have had a gun to protect herself and other people? Well, lives would have been saved. Mayor Barrett, who I believe spoke here last night, he was in West Dallas. And so, see, I'm talking a little too fast because I've only got 5 minutes, and I talk way too much, so I talk myself out of breath sometimes. But so he was at the State Fair, left State Fair, saw a domestic violence incident, intervened. He broke his hand trying to stop the person, punching the person who was assaulting another person. Then he was beat by that attacker with a metal bar. Surgery on his hand, long time recovery, very, very violent situation. In West Dallas, a couple miles away, there was a guy driving home from work, a retired Marine. This is after concealed carry was passed. And he saw a guy beating a woman at a bus stop. So he stopped, he pulled a gun. And again, I've got 5 minutes. The average police response time is 5 minutes. When I started talking, think of if I had started shooting. People running for the exits, the smell of gunpowder in the air, your ears ringing, people calling 911. 5 minutes is the time that would take the police to get here. And again, I'm going to talk for 5 minutes. So I'm back to West Dallas. That gentleman had a gun. He walked out of his car, told the guy to stop. The guy stopped beating the woman, laid on the ground until police arrived. And it was a nonviolent situation. So the presence of a gun ended a situation without violence versus a situation where there wasn't a gun present and with the mayor at State Fair. So I hope that you consider what a gun in the hands of a law-abiding citizen can do for self-defense. I have about 30 seconds left in my imaginary scenario. It's about 30 seconds till the police will get here. Someone could have stopped me right away. And so I hope that as you guys move about today and have your conversations, that the use of self-defense, the gun in the hands of a good law-abiding citizen, how could that change situations? And that's something that will make some people uncomfortable, but it's something that I hope you consider, and I hope it's part of your conversations today. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.